on the beat, boys. Tell her clock, make it fire. Boys.
Hello everyone, I'm Princess Ronke Ademilui and I'm the founder of Africa Fashion Week London and Africa Fashion Week Nigeria. And we're happy to be a part of the Sustainable Fashion Week New York. We're going to be taking you through a journey of some of our designers in Africa and some of our designers, the African designers in the UK as well. In Africa, we have the culture of telling stories, and this is what we do with our fashion as well. So we hope you enjoy the stories we're going to be telling you through our African fashion showcase. Thank you.
Fingers on the beat, boys. Stellar clock, making fire.
Moremi brand is a brand that was named after the legendary bold Queen Moremi, a Yoruba queen who reigned 1,200 years ago in Nigeria. I work with textile designers in Nigeria to create the beautiful, bold, vibrant, energetic colors. And I also work with young designers who come up with these lovely pieces and the embellishments as well. I decided to use Adire because it's the most popular fabric of the biggest tribe in Africa, the Yoruba tribe. And being a princess of the Yoruba tribe, I know the importance of showcasing our heritage through fashion. And the Adire now, that was the traditional cultural piece that was created in Abeokuta, has now become a fashion statement because we have a lot of designers over the years who have used the Adire brand to create loads of amazing pieces.
Happier with the lock tonight, guys. We can make it bad again.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Ile Moremi of the House of Oduduwa, of His Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife. I need you to appreciate, applaud one more time. Thank you. I need you to welcome Princess Roke Ademiluyi, the convener and owner of the African Fashion Week London and African Fashion Week Nigeria, has consistently kept this event alive for 6 years running. One more time, Princess Roke Ademiluyi. A round of applause.
Today we're going to be speaking to Samson Soboye, a fantastic African fashion designer, about how digital technology is going to help boost his business.
I'm from Nigerian heritage. My parents came here in the 60s, moved to Hackney when I was about 3 or 4, and was there until I was a teenager, and then moved all over London, then spent the early youth a year in Australia, a year in America, back here, studied fashion, and the rest is
history. Okay.
Music was a very big influence. I'd always go out clubbing from an early teenager. I actually looked older than my years when I was a younger teenager, so I always had no difficulty getting into clubs.
Oh, you were one of those? Oh goodness, I wish I was.
Dressing and being part of the Soboye scene was all part of growing up. So every Saturday, go down the King's Road, get a look, go down to Covent Garden, get something to wear for Saturday. Never was really like a competition, but there was always this one-upmanship of trying to be the coolest, the baddest, the best dressed, who could get the most attention, who could dance better on the dance floor. But it was never like a formalised fashion, just a kind of a street style fashion.
And that was where it started. Okay. And then where did you train?
I travelled to Australia, stayed there for a year, worked in the Aboriginal Artists Gallery, met some people while I was out and about who said that we've got a menswear studio, can you maybe come in and help sort of set something up? Had no formal training then, and I got on really well with the person, Julie Teal, who's quite a respected Australian designer. Helped her with her line. He said, you've actually got a really natural talent for it. You should maybe formalise it and think about studying. So I applied to St Martin's from Australia. So that was early 90s. And was studying for 4 years at St Martin's. Actually trained in fashion journalism, so I thought there was going to be more jobs to be a writer. Fashion communication and promotion, as it got renamed then. So it was learning about styling, how to put a magazine together, working on adverts, creative direction. So that was kind of the whole encompassing of the course. So that was great for me.
Yeah.
And I started working as a stylist basically year 2, and I still work as a fashion stylist now.
Oh, fantastic.
And it kind of informs the way I dress, the way I put my collections together. Year 7 of freelancing, I've got burnt out. So I was like, I need a break from this, and I decided, the last few shoots I was doing, people were asking me to dress the sets, and so I was bringing amazing things to the sets, and people were buying these pieces from me, and that was actually becoming like a sideline, kind of a side hustle for me. Okay. And then everyone was like, oh, you should maybe do some interiors as well. So I did interiors for 5 years. Was selling to big shops like Harvey Nichols, Harrods, shops in Paris, shops in New York. And so I was basically doing soft furnishings. I opened this shop with just my interiors with a fashion friend of mine who worked for Oswald Boateng, but she wanted to do womenswear. So we shared the shop. After 5 years of sharing, she decided that she wanted to sort of go and have a family and do other things. So I wasn't quite ready to give up being a retailer, so I took the shop on. In 2012, we did an event called Africa at Soboye. So I made a few shirts just to, in fact this is a similar one to one of the first ones made, to celebrate the African nations London Olympics. I made I think 10. They sold within a couple of days. I then made 50. They sold within a week. 50 became 100. So by that summer, I'd sold about 300 or 400 shirts.
Amazing.
It was a fabric that I'd never really, we'd grown up around it. It was kind of a fabric that we used as tablecloths. So it was used as wrappers and headdresses. It wasn't something. So I thought, let me just kind of repurpose it and make it into something that's contemporary and a bit more stylish.
So I'm assuming you have some amazing big clients. Could you give us a few names?
Yeah, Nile Rodgers is my biggest, and he's pretty much bought every suit I've made. P.P. Arnold, John Boyega. There seems to be a lot of black Americans actually.
Of course, they would be. Could you tell us a little bit more about your next line?
It was inspired by Studio 54. I was asked this year to design and dress Grace Jones for the Meltdown Festival.
Oh, wow.
Which obviously got postponed for COVID-19. So that got me thinking, what would it be like if Studio 54 opened in Lagos now? And how would people dress for that? 70s inspired, but kind of 2020 version of an Afrofuturist. Lots of glitter, lots of sequins mixed with print, with gold shiny embellishment over the top. So show out clothes. Clothes that you dress up in, clothes that you want to get noticed in, clothes that you want to party in, clothes that you want to express your heritage, but also have a leaning towards dance culture, African culture, Afrobeats. It's a mashup of all kind of mad ideas. So that's my latest collection, and I'm not calling it menswear, womenswear now.
We can't. We're very non-binary.
Non-binary, and lots of men have bought my women's, and lots of women have bought my men's. So I'm just doing clothing.
There we go.
Soboye clothing.
Soboye clothing. Yeah. I love it.
Fashion with passion.
Oh, fashion with passion. I like it. So obviously COVID has affected a lot of businesses all over the world. How has it affected yours?
I was cured of my FOMO. I didn't have to be anywhere or run to any schedule. And it gave me a lot of time to really formulise the collection, because there was lots of ideas all over the place, and I actually had time to really think and consolidate what I was doing. I started reading books. Literally, I was chomping books because I was just had the time to do it. There was less things to distract you, so I really was honed in. I wasn't listening to anything on the news, because I found it all so depressing. So I just was eating well, relaxing, sleeping. Me and my bed have a very deep relationship now. I did some webinars, so I did some teaching online. It just gave me time to think what really is important. When we go back into the world, what do I really want to go back in for? Where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want to be in a year? What's the landscape going to be like? What's the world going to be like? And I came up with a series of masks to wear for protection, and I decided to give part of the money to the bus drivers that have died, which affected me a lot. Then there was the George Floyd killing, but that kind of got me thinking, what do I want to do? What is my part in the change that I want to make? About to start a mentoring program with BAME students that are underperforming.
Nice.
Each one needs to teach one. We need to bring each other on along, and I've got skills and knowledge that can help impact somebody else's life.
100%.
And it's not been an easy journey, but it's not been a journey that I don't want to just keep private. I want to make people aware of pitfalls.
Yes.
Things that I wish I'd been told.
Of course.
Things that it's painful to watch other people go through. And if we don't do it for the next generation, then there's going to be a gap. Children don't hate from birth. It's a learned, it's a taught thing to not like a person for another colour.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my little bit to try and eradicate that. I don't really want to see colour. I don't want to see gender. I don't want to see sexism. I don't, those things that it's one love. It's harder to hate than to love.
Oh.
The effort that you have to take.
Oh, it takes so much effort. It really does. So much emotion.
If people can understand that you can just all get along, all enjoy. There's enough for us to go around, and sharing is caring. That's my philosophy. I'm the head stylist for Africa Fashion Week London, and this was going to be our 10th anniversary, and we couldn't show this year due to the COVID-19.
Yeah.
And we were approached by Target, 3D and Leroy, and they said that we can help you digitalize what you're doing. And I'm a technophobe anyway, so this sounded really interesting, but I was like, oh, you're talking, I need to see. So let's see.
It's all great that you're explaining all these things to me.
So let's work with it. Work in stages and bring some clothes, and then we'll animate the clothes, and then it became animate the model. Something that I needed to know, because I think the future is going that way. And it was great to get in at the early set, be one of the early adopters of what this technology means and what it can do. And I'm also about pushing the brand forward and going into areas that are unknown. I'm about Afrofuturism, so I had to embrace that part of the industry that I don't know anything about. So it was a really good opportunity to see how that technology works and see how I can use it to promote my business and promote the technology.
And do you see a fruitful future with technology and fashion? Like, will the industries marry well together in the future?
I think COVID-19, it's got another 2 or 3 years before it actually kills itself out. So we're having to work around those issues. Digitalization of fashion is one way of doing that. As long as you've got the access to the technology, then it's a leveler. Anybody can access it and then use it to promote their brand. The young kids in the schools and the universities and places of learning for fashion are using it already.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not a brand that's embracing it, you're going to be left behind. The creatives will use it in a more innovative way. Fashion shows are a bit old school, they're a bit old hat. There'll always be a place for fashion shows, but it'll be more, I think it'll be seen as entertainment. So if you've got the budget and the money and the capacity, it'll be a theatrical event. So what we are seeing with the technology, we can produce that kind of level without the budget. Because you've got to fly in models from all over the country, from all over the globe. There's less harm to the environment. You can design clothes you don't have to make. And then you can actually make things to order. So there's not this wastage.
Yes.
And I think we have to use it and embrace it. Click on something, find out where it's been made, find out who's produced it, what level of pollution's been involved, so that we're more conscious of who we are as designers and what we're doing to the planet.
So you're working on this amazing project with Freaking Future and Target 3D, where they are basically bringing you a virtual shop of Soboye. Do you think that now in the future this is going to overtake having an actual retail store?
What I'm hoping it will bring more business to the business. but I don't have to. They don't have to come here necessarily to this store. But with the technology that's available now, we can sort of be big players. There's a hunger for fashion. There's a need for new ideas, creativity, and I think we have people that want a new take on what's been prescribed, not just the big houses. So we need small businesses to thrive and the innovation from the new businesses, so that we're not all like herd mentality, dressing all to look the same.
Oh.
That's what I'm trying to bring to the table. I'm trying to bring my London Africanism to the world. This will help me do that in a bigger way. I can't compete with the big boys. I'm not even trying to. But I do have ideas that are big. So if I can use technology to realise those ideas, then it will be a really good thing. But there's so many more people I want to reach. So I need all the tools at my disposal to be able to reach that potential.
Digital is going to do that for you.
Help to do that. Help to do that.
Fingers crossed.
I still have to make the collections. I'll see if they can just be me, and I can be lying down in bed.
Next designer coming out is Soboye, and we do have one celebrity that's going to grace the stage. A very elegant, delectable, talented. Oh, this woman, you might have laughed at her in a few things. She has been in Meet the Adebanjos. I'm talking about Yetunde Oduwole. So please, without further ado, give it up for Soboye.
I've been holding out so long, I've been sleeping all alone, Lord, I miss you. I've been hanging on the phone, I've been slipping all alone, I won't kiss you sometimes. Well, I've been howling in my sleep, you've been starring in my dreams, Lord, I miss you, child. I've been waiting in the hall, been waiting on your call. Your phone rings, it's just a friend of mine to see. Hey, what's the matter, man? They're gonna come round at 12 with some Puerto Rican girls that's just dying to meet you. We gonna bring a case of wine. Hey, let's go mess some food around, you know, like we used to. Yeah, we gonna do Club Midtown, you know, we gonna mess some food around. Hey, man, what's with you? Yeah, you've been strung out for too long, you know. Girls will come and go, they're just like streetcars. I say I've been staying in too long. You know, sometimes I feel abandoned. Woo, baby. I say, wow, 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 wow. I've been walking Central Park, singing After Dark. People think I'm crazy. Stuffing on my feet, shuffling to the street, asking people, what's the matter with you, boy? Sometimes I want to sing to myself. Sometimes I sing. so long. I've been sleeping all alone. Lord, I miss you. I've been hanging on the phone. I've been slipping all alone. I won't kiss you sometimes. Well, I've been howling in my sleep. You've been starring in my dreams. Lord, I miss you, child. I've been waiting in the hall. Been waiting on your call. Your phone rings. It's just a friend of mine to see. Hey, what's the matter, man? They're gonna come round at 12 with some Puerto Rican girls that's just dying to meet you. We gonna bring a case of wine. Hey, let's go mess some food around, you know, like we used to. Yeah, we gonna do club midtown, you know, we gonna mess some food around. Hey, man, what's with you? Yeah, you've been strung out for too long, you know. Girls will come and go, they're just like streetcars. I say I've been staying in too long. You know, sometimes I feel abandoned. Woo, baby. I say, wow, 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 wow. I've been walking Central Park, singing After Dark. People think I'm crazy. Stuffing on my feet, shuffling to the street, asking people, what's the matter with you, boy? Sometimes I say,
Samson, hold on 1 minute. You can't just walk away like that. Now, for those of you who don't know, and I know he doesn't like me doing this.
You better know.
You better know. Samson has been with us for how many years now?
5 now.
5 years, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, he's just the best. And we'd like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts with Africa Fashion Week. You are so much for us. Thank you so much, mate. Give it up for Samson Soboye. Thank you.
is a short form of Olufolake in Yoruba that means cloths from up country. My name is Bakari Mubarak, the tallest model in sub-Saharan Africa and a cultural ambassador. In southwest Nigeria, weddings, coronations, fashion events and other important ceremonies are hardly complete without the use of Asoke. This production is brought to you by Princess Ronke Ademiluyi, the founder of the prestigious African Fashion Week, London and Nigeria, in collaboration with Her Excellency Yeye Are Dr. Mrs. Folake Abdulrazaq, the First Lady of Kwara State.
It's beautiful, it's adorned well, and it's used for so many different occasions like weddings, naming ceremonies, funerals, birthday parties, and so many other things. You know, it's very traditional to Kwara State and to Ilorin in particular. And, you know, the Asoke business is so now versatile, as we now have so many educated people going into the business and having apprentices of up to 25 or 50 people. Apart from that, we now have more sophisticated equipment that they use, and some apprentices do up to about 2 years in their business before they graduate. We're very happy that there's a resurgence in the love for Asoke in Kwara State and beyond. And we're happy that we are now able to sell abroad to so many parts of the world, and people continue to wear. In fact, you see so many people across Africa and Europe and America wearing it, even in Asia, wearing it for their weddings and so many other events. And they just tell you they love the traditional way of dressing in Nigeria, and therefore they want the Asoke. So in this regard, we're very happy to showcase Asoke and how it's made in Kwara, and to showcase some of our Kwara weavers who do so many styles and designs, like the basket, the jawu, the wire-to-wire, and so many others. They also still do a lot of the traditional ones, which were the earlier styles, such as the sonya and the etu, and so many other styles. So we love Kwara Asoke. We love how it showcases the state. We'd love you to have a look at all what the designs are here today. And I'm very happy to have the weavers who have participated in this to showcase what we can do in Kwara. And also with Riskat and her husband, and you know, to wear and show you the beauty of Asoke. We love Asoke and Asoke in Kwara State, and we will continue to make sure that it remains in the forefront of Asoke weaving in Nigeria. Thank you so much, and we love you to visit Kwara whenever you want and come and see the Asoke industry for yourself. The traditional weavers are a sight to behold, and when they sit on those stools that they use to make the Asoke, it's a sight to behold. Very beautiful. It's a fantastic tourist attraction. It would be nice to come to Kwara and visit us anytime you want, and we'll be happy to welcome you. Thank you very much. I am Her Excellency Erelu Yeye, Dr. Mrs. Olufolake Abdulrazaq, First Lady of Kwara State, and I thank you for watching this video and for seeing all that Kwara has to showcase in the Asoke market. Thank you very much.
Today, the production and sales of Asoke provide locals with some form of livelihood in Yoruba land. Those who deal in Asoke are usually referred to as Alashoke. This industry and imagination is still very much regarded as a distinctive heritage of the Yoruba culture today. Hello, this is Okelele on the outskirts of Ilorin metropolis, the capital of Kwara State, Nigeria, north central Nigeria. So, from my findings, based on reliable source, I learned this is the go-to location to find the best weavers in Ilorin metropolis. Journey with me as I give you more exposure about Asoke, the legendary indigenous African and woven fabric. Thank you.
We are at Adefalu compound, Alabido compound, Alaru compound of Ojuekun area in Ilorin, where we engage in the local crafts known as Asoke. This Asoke is a family craft. Most of us that are doing it are members of various families. and this is our family craft. My name is Lawal Ibrahim Adefalu. I am the CEO of Valuable Crown Adetoni Value Textile, Adefalu Compound in Ilorin. This ashoke, we have it in various types. We have the brocades, we have ashoke lace, we have shana wole, we have two-tone. The ashoke, the process of ashoke is many. You know, we start from the threading on the ground, where we use implements like iron rod, arm rack, and so on. After that, we do the tying, where we join the one we thread on the ground into the implement that we use to weave it. These implements, some of the implements are the loom itself. That's big wood you see behind me. Then we have the thread, we have the pedal, we have net, we have shuttle, we have winder, we have loader. This ashoke has been in existence from the time immemorial, the period of our fathers, our forefathers, our great-grandfathers, and the people that gave birth to them too. This ashoke is being used by the well-to-do people in the society. We have the obas that are using it, like the Alaafin of Oyo, the Oni of Ife, and the rest of them. They use it in those days up to this moment. And you know, that is to show that this ashoke is being produced in our land, and we need to promote our local production like ashoke. You can see the various ashoke on the line. As I said earlier on, you can see our apprenticeship that are weaving it at my background, and you can see various the bigger size, the smaller size. As I said earlier, we have this shana wole type. This one that is having shine is called shana wole. The incumbent wife of Her Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kwara State, is an advocator of the usage of ashoke. You know, ashoke is a kind of job that fetch us a lot of money. Most of our graduates, we have master's holders among us. We even have PhD holders among us. You know, this ashoke can be used for various things apart from being used for dresses. Like, for example, ashoke can be used for bags, nose mask, you see. We have traveling bags, shoe, sandals, pillowcase, bed sheet, cotton, and so on. We can use it for various things. In fact, in recent time, some of our brothers are exporting this ashoke to the neighboring countries abroad. I may not be able to say what they are using it for, but I know if it is not useful for them, they will not export it. So it is a market that can give us a very, very beautiful face in the world market.
So this is another process in which the weaving itself is then in progress. And after weaving, we take a measurement of cutting it appropriately. Now I'll go into the measuring the ashoke itself. It depends on the kind of measurement you want to. Some people want their own to be around 45, some around 42, some around 40, while some around 38. That's maximum, the minimum. So if to measure this, you're able to know that it proves to us that the ashoke is not just ordinary something that you can just take the measurement or you just cut without any measuring. So you can see this 38 itself. So I want to measure it on 38. So this is how we measure. This is how we measure. So before I will now cut. So this is a process in which it's known as measuring and cutting of ashoke.
My name is Jami Olufolake. I'm a professional ashoke weaver, and also I'm a promoter. I'm promoting the ashoke, the Africa culture entirely.
Fantastic, fantastic. That's interesting. So I heard about something. I learned that young weavers, especially here in Ilorin, starts weaving at the age of 8. How true is this?
Yes, it's actually true. I have a lot of my brother who are introduced to this work at the age of 4 to 5 years.
Wow.
Let me say we actually born to this work. So we started very young. So it's so fun, like instead of we playing around, so we just came here to join our daddy, our father here, and do some other thing with them. So and the end when they hit, they eat together with them. So anything they hit in the doing the work, so we actually eat it together. So that gives us motivation to be around them.
After the weaving processes, you know, in those days we used to starch our wool or thread before we use them. The ashoke has advanced, you know. We are not starching right from the beginning anymore. Though some primitive members of our guild are still using that method. But majority of the guild now are using the starching after finishing. You know, the starching after finishing, now we use two types of material to starch. We use the conventional starch produced from the cassava and so on. Then we use a material called bond. But since people that are doing our professional, you know, we have the gauges, we have measurements, okay, that can be used for each of the package. You know, in each pack we have eight pieces of ashoke in each pack. So we have the measurement for each pack, okay, measurement of this bond for each pack. We have measurement for each pack, for each pack from the starch that we also use, okay, so that it will give us the desired products.
So I have a double-decker question for you. First things first, I want to know how sustainable ashoke is, and secondly, I would like to know if the visibility of being able to maintain this when younger generation emerge. Right.
You know, I get a lot of funny questions whenever people meet me and I introduce myself as a ashoke weaver. They're like, oh, you're young, what are you doing? Why are you weaving ashoke? Of all things, why are you into ashoke? With the involvement of young minds like me, and I'm still in my 20s and I started this thing like 5 years ago. So with the involvement of young people like me, and I think in the next, for me to pick interest in ashoke at this young age, and I see like some other people that are like me doing it, so to me it will go far. And the fact that we're able to use it to make contemporary styles these days, we're not limited to the agbada, iro, buba, and the cap thing now.
Alone.
So we're more versatile. We get to do all sorts of things. And I earlier said that I see ashoke like the normal fabrics that people go to the market to buy. So I think as much as laces and kara and other fabrics remains in the market and people are buying it, ashoke will remain like that till the end of time. This is where we display our neatly woven ashoke. This is our pickup and consultation office. So we display some of our designs here. This is where we get to showcase what we've done. We welcome our customers here as well. So we have all different types of ashoke here, different designs. Then the embellished one, different weaves and all that. Let me start by showing you this one. You see this? We call this one baskets. Yeah, we call it basket. You can see how it is. It is 100% handmade and it comes in different colors, different patterns, different designs. So this is another design of the basket I just showed you now. This comes in baby pink and with a fuchsia pink design. Like I earlier said, you can have it as you want it. The other one was plain champagne gold and we decided to do a color mix with this one. This is it again. It's a green with touch of royal blue. You can have it whichever way you want. Let me show you this one. We made this one into agbada for a groom to be. Let me show you more designs. This one, see how it is. And you see, we played with colors. We have red, we have green, we have blue, and the color of the stones too. So after weaving, we did the designing of the sewing of the ashoke, and we decided to design it this way. You can see this is the back, the front of it. It also comes in different sizes. That's small size. This is a bigger size of it. You can see how it is. So this is also handmade. You know, people usually have problem in tying gele. It is not everybody that can tie gele by themselves. People can easily do makeup, but tying gele requires technical know-how. So we decided to put this in place. It is, we call it auto gele, and it is ready-made. It is like this. All you just do is you pick it up as it is, and you're ready to go. You just place it on your head, and you're good to go to anywhere. This is how it is. You just place it on your head, and you're good to go. So it has a band at the back to tie it. Let me show you this other stone work. You know, we have different grades of stone. It depends on how it blinks. See this one. Yes. So this will complement this one. So this is a bridal set. We made this one from the scratch to this stage. See the design on it. It is all handmade. This can be worn by a bride or any other party guest. It can be worn to anywhere. We have other designs too. We have plain designs. Let me show you this. So we've not done anything on this one. This is directly from our weaving workshop. We've not done anything on it. There's no design on it. But we decided to arrange the pattern of the wool this way. So this is another design of ashoike with different color mix. So we have them in different designs, different textures and all. These are also ashoike. You can see these ones. They are all handmade with different materials. So this is another design, another color mix. So generally, you can do anything, a whole lot of things with ashoike. You just have to be creative about it. What I'm putting on here is made of ashoike, and including my nose mask. They are made from ashoike. The list is endless. Ashoike is just like every other fabric, like I generally said. You can do whatever you want with it. The list goes on and it is endless. So this hat is made of ashoike too, with the design on it. This goes to any occasion, like any function. Generally, you can wear this to it. It is made of ashoike. Ashoike business is very lucrative, and I will urge our younger generation to look inward into it, to come and join us in the business, in the weaving of ashoike, the designing and all that. Ashoike is our heritage. Ashoike is our pride.
At Africa Fashion Week London, we know the importance of showcasing your heritage through fashion. We try to encourage our designers to showcase their culture on the runway, because this enables them to tell their stories and the stories behind their indigenous designs and their indigenous fabrics. It allows them to talk about the origin, the relevance, the importance, and also the techniques. Africa is a continent and has about 3,000 tribes, and each tribe they have their own unique fashion culture, and this is what we try to preserve and promote at Africa Fashion Week London. Thank you very much. My name is Princess Ronke Ademilui, and I'm the founder of Africa Fashion Week London and Nigeria.
elevate.
Can't speak, my phone's off. Riding through the city and I'm so gone. Hey, I can't speak, my phone's off. Riding through the city and I'm so gone. Hey, I can't speak, my phone's off. Riding through the city, I'm so gone. Hey, it's so lit, 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 it's so lit. Wearing Louis V's and some ripped jeans. See pretty girls flipping through the magazines. My wife is on V while I'm wearing that new Yeezy, looking like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Futurist, you wish you knew me. This the new me, this the cool me, yeah. Jedi, catching flights on the red eye. Who said I would be in your saga? This my life and you just peeking through the gram. It's the weekend, I'm not your man, I'm just a fan, trying to get fans, so I can't feel love, stadiums, but my phone's off, so we can't talk, not right now, feeling real lit. Can't speak, my phone's off. Riding through the city and I'm so gone. Hey, I can't speak, I'm so gone. Riding through the city and my phone's off. Hey, it's so lit, 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 we so lit, so lit, it's so lit, it's so lit. Suavemente, so cool, Rico Suave sent me, super sexy, don't mind me, I'm just flexing, she's always texting, sexy photos at me, use all my data, calls me data, oh baby. We at La Casa, where we act like rosters. Out on Bumble clock ya, block a shot ya. Ayy, just like a rock star. I'm eating shrimp and pasta. We way up, call up NASA. It's so lit, 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 it's so lit. It's so lit, it's so lit, it's so lit.
Do not attempt to adjust your TV. This is not a dream. Cinematic be the aftermath of killer COVID-19 and a realization of the reality of life through the lens of black human beings. To some, it's akin to a novel written by Stephen King in collaboration with Stan and Spike Lee, where superheroes wear PPE with know-how to restore the ability to breathe. Yet, in the case of George Floyd, this was an impossibility. These are the days resources sourced for mentally broken beings, Africans and Europeans, the blind and the seeing. It's become normal to see superpower economies brought to their knees. What's strange is, amidst chaos comes inner peace. As Mother Earth presses reset, we get reminded no matter how bad it gets, we can overcome with the shield of hope. Triumph could become a tangible concept. Forget our dead, we will not. Their memory fuels a resilience that never stops. Though across the planet we are bereaved, we are the survivors. We are one London, nah, global city.
Let you know that I'm on. Yeah, I might be a little high. Plus I'm feeling fly. Yeah, I don't even have to try. There's no need to lie. You can see it in my eyes. I'm trying to say hi. Got angels by my side. Let you know that I'm on. Yeah, I might be a little high. Plus I'm feeling fly. Yeah, I don't even have to try. There's no need to lie. You can see it in my eyes. Yeah, I'm trying to say hi. Got angels in my sight. Verse church, life perks, sunsets, it's all worth my time. I gotta call mine, plus I'm dressed so fine. At the garden, through on some Marvin. Crush you up like I'm James Harden. MVP, if I'm being honest. I'm out here living my best life. Do you know what that's like? Most days I'm in the heights and I'm down for a blonde eye. Psych, that girl's all hype, but I still pipe tonight. I'ma say whatever I feel like. Hold back for what? Yelling out, I'm tryna fuck. Friends tell me I said too much, but I go get another cup. It's my life, so I only live it once. Let you know that I'm on. Yeah, I might be a little high. Plus I'm feeling fly. Yeah, I don't even have to try. There's no need to lie. You can see it in my eyes. I'm trying to say hi. Got angels by my side. Let you know that I'm on. Yeah, I might be a little high. Plus I'm feeling fly. Yeah, I don't even have to try. There's no need to lie. You can see it in my eyes. Yeah, I'm trying to say hi. Got angels in my sight. I just wanna see you smile. You know I'm out here loving your style. For you I travel for miles. We can go get wild. I'm spicy, no, not mild. Got flavor and got style. Watch all this money pile and keep it all on file. Trends come and go, but you classical, yeah, you're masterful. I'm trying to keep my cool, though I forget my morals when I see that culo. Let you know that I'm a little high. I just wanna kiss you, bite in your lips. Excuse me, miss, you wanna be off this and back to your crib.
Hello, Sustainable Fashion Week New York. My name is Spencer Moy, and I'm a current graduate student in a dual degree international history program at Columbia University in New York City and the London School of Economics in London, England. I am so happy to be here today in support of this platform and the visibility that it's bringing to such key questions in fashion, but also to really support the educational and solution-oriented mindset grounded in 4 key pillars, which are learning, connecting, growing, and showcasing. So my dissertation research brought me here, and I'm so glad that it's in. To give you a hint, I'm primarily concerned with textiles, but to explain this, I want to bring us back to 2009, to the not so distant past. So if we take a look here, this is the presidential inauguration. Michelle Obama wore this yellow shift dress and matching coat. It was actually made from what's called pure lace, which isn't the delicate lace you think of when I say lace. It's actually a heavier cotton-based industrial embroidery, which mimics the detailed lace. This was her first official outfit as First Lady, factually speaking, politics aside. So the photos were widely circulated and were particularly salient in Nigerian society magazines because this type of special luxury fabric, which is colloquially called lace in Nigeria, does hold historical importance as a marker of social prestige. Wearing lace at special occasions, at political events, etc., has become a dress code norm, and not wearing lace is almost unthinkable. So if we take a look here, this is kind of what it looks like. If we think back to Michelle Obama, though, her specific lace was actually from a Swiss textile maker in St. Gallen, which is part of a larger region that spills over the border into Austria. This region has been producing high-quality luxury embroideries for over 250 years, and for the portion in Austria, the small town of Lustenau is most prominent as the town with the highest number of looms and as the town with the highest number of exports. Now, knowing this, when the Obama effect, so to speak, prompted increased demand for Guy Pure Lace in pastel colors, production largely fell on firms in Austria who were highly incentivized to adapt to Nigerian consumer preferences because the market was lucrative. Nigerians spend millions of euros each year on lace from Austria alone. And since this relationship began between Austrian embroidery firms and Nigerian consumers in the 1960s, Nigerian patronage has single-handedly sustained the Austrian textile industry. So therefore, this is kind of what my dissertation deals with. It's a global consumption history which traces this little-known relationship through fabric. And so as I've embarked on my dissertation research, questions of consumption and sustainability became unavoidable. These questions are universal at their core, and I just want to bring up 4 areas for you to consider today. The first would be environmental effect. You really cannot discuss imports and exports without considering the environmental effect of air transport and what consequences transporting people and bolts of fabric might have, and flying them. The second thing I want us to consider is money flow. There are also consequences regarding the exchange of various currencies between borders, to think in terms of economic history. And because local currency is being spent externally, it's not being reinvested into the local economy and industries. Third, substitutes. What local goods were these new imports replacing at the local level? And then finally, and fourth, social value. Why do foreign goods have so much clout? I really couldn't help but notice the preferential treatment of imported goods over local goods, despite this very strong Nigeria first mentality and the import tariffs that were enacted in the 70s in Nigeria. Now, I'm in full support of global markets. I think that the ability to interact in the international arena has really provided the opportunity to experience goods and artistry from other places across the globe and connect us. However, one cannot and should not compromise the viability of local economies or completely suffocate local heritage in the process. Foreign and local do not have to be mutually exclusive. And then in the Nigerian case specifically, the effect of preferred foreign textiles compounded on an oil-based royalty economy and really had detrimental effects on social infrastructure and related sectors of the economy down the line. So in a country where cotton can be boasted as a major cash crop, there's a real possibility to foster a circular economy. So if this opportunity is ripe in Nigeria, where else can this model exist? So there's great scholarly work to check out about local textiles in Africa, about consumerism and Nigerian history at large. To name a few, Jeremy Prestholt, Toyin Falola, Alicia Rennie. So continue learning where you can. Thank you so much to Bridget from Sustainable Fashion Week New York, and then also to Michael at Africa Fashion Week London for having me. To all attending today, thank you so much, and I hope you continue learning and growing. Thank you so much.
Hi, living in Africa next to landfill, we have a responsibility to upcycle and reuse. Take a look at our work so far, and we hope to see you soon.
What's up with you? Baby girls tell me I'm the boss. If I don't get today, tomorrow carry belly. I'm begging you to stay with me. Baby, she go cover me.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Rone, owner and founder of Victoria Grace Fashion. Living in Africa, next to landfill, the designer has a responsibility to be part of the solution. We live in West Africa. Our brand was birthed in Nigeria, and now we are in Togo, West Africa, next to landfill. I want to take you on a journey on how we pick up all those unwanted pieces, the fashion that has been dumped in Africa, and turn them into beautiful pieces that you can love. We are going to show you through our clips, hopefully you'll be watching them, and you'll see how we can actually fall in love again in those unwanted pieces and save Africa, particularly Togo, from landfill. Thank you very much, Sustainable Fashion Week US, for this moment. Thank you especially to Africa Fashion Week London for having me, and I look forward to showcasing all that we have been doing throughout this year and actually post and during COVID.
some more. So this is the market. Baby said she needs some more. Jama betele koko. Jama betele koko. Baby said she needs some more.
Okay, this is one of our green dresses that Mama is holding up. That we have totally transformed. This is where all the work goes on. Mama has done this amazing job for us. So let's see on the runway.
You did by my side. If I don't get nothing, yeah, you go there with me. Yeah, you go stand by me. Yeah, you go love me the way I love you. Baby, love me. What I need to baby. Shama kwesele koko. Oh, baby, said she needs some more.
This is a beautiful sight. It's the beach in Lome. Some horses there. If you look further there, you can see the fisherman's boat. Nice colourful one there. They're always very early in the morning. You have the fishermen going to catch some fish. But what I'm trying to show you here is that if you look all the way at the edge of the sea, you can see a lineup of ships. During COVID, it was really back-to-back, so as far as your eye could go. And now, there's still a queue. And what we found at the ports, which is all the way down at the end there, is that a lot of these containers contain second-hand clothes coming in from the West, which we have found in the market, and more than the number of clothes that can be consumed. Because it's a small population, so a lot of it goes to landfill. So with this beauty, we also have something to address. The ships lined up back to back at night, which is just the lights that you see. Okay. So this is our Lome.
Don't forget this with the
Hi everybody, I have made it to the market after COVID, the second-hand market. I've met Madam Blessing, whom we are going to be working with. Madam Blessing tends to have containers of fabrics coming in. This is one of her warehouses, which she stocked up before Corona, but she's expecting another container of clothes at the end of the month. And she needs to shift it. She needs to sell everything. And there's some here in bags. And one of her specialities I've noticed that she has here is she has a lot of fur.
Never forget those who stood by you. Never forget, never forget.
So we made our way to the lady that had the fur, one of her warehouses, and the way the business is that they never know what they're going to receive. They just pay, I don't know, they pay a certain amount of money, and then the container lands, and then they open it up. And on this occasion, what they have here is leather, suede, fur, fake fur, woolies, jumpers, and it's just funny, all coming into Africa. Africa is rather hot, and she doesn't really know what she can do with it. Also, it's really wet and smelly because it stayed on the ship for a long time during COVID. So we're going to see if we can help upcycle this. So I've just followed that trail that I showed you on the beach, the line of ships, and that had been lined back to back during COVID. And now post-COVID, the containers have been opened up. And what we have found that are in containers is probably, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just terrible, because a lot of things that can't be used. And so we've got a whole lot of containers of shoes. I just for discretion purpose, I won't even show you all of it, but most of it is not wearable, and if something has to be done.
When money no day, the still day with you. Wherever no day, the sea stood by you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Shori ti gbàgbé, Shori ti sunle. Shori ò fẹ́ ní àpọ́nlé, Shori don't forget days we dey hustle.
So this is Madam Blessing's business, and this is the fur. There are heaps of fur. I can only show this bit, and there's the warehouse filled with fur, and it's fake fur, real fur, leather, suede, wools, winter coats, you name it, everything that came from the winter. And it was stuck in the container during COVID, so they're a bit smelly and wet. And we're going to pick up a few pieces off the ground, and we're going to try and work with them, because she has warehouses, and they're container loads in the market, spotted here and there. She has a few warehouses with these things, and she doesn't know what to do with them.
Never forget those who stood by you. Never forget, never forget.
We have found our artisans in the second-hand market, and ironically, they are actually opposite the incinerator. They repair bags and leather goods and upholster, and so we're glad to have found them, and we're working with them, and we're going to work with them on the furs. You can see that they're quite excited. They're stripping the lining away from the fur, because at the moment it's a dialogue I would love to carry on. We're not sure whether the fur is biodegradable, and if it is, we may opt to let it go into landfill and biodegrade, but we're not sure about that. And also, you notice that some of the furs came really wet and a bit messy, so we're going to use some of the fake furs and things that are usable to make bags, and we also are going to separate the lining from the coats and see if we can restyle them into a wearable style. So I hope you enjoy watching further.
Everybody wanna gun body with you, forgetting those who stood by you, forgetting those who fought with you. When money no day, they still day with you. Wherever no day, the sea stood by you. When money no day, they still day.
The coat looks gorgeous. I'm sure it will get another wear, at least another 5 years, hopefully, by the right owner. We've added the Victoria Grace brand image to it. That's the African print, and it's unique, exclusive. The question still stands: is fur biodegradable? Should we try and biodegrade, or shall we give it an extra life for someone to wear it? That's up to you. Here are our bags, and we love them. We love the result. We are using the furs, the fake furs, the wools, and to make our bags in the Victoria Grace brand image, which is with a touch of Africa, as you can see. The straps are also found in the second-hand market. They're also, so everything is upcycled, picked up from the second-hand market. We're using the lining that we stripped out within the bags, and the zips, everything found in the second-hand market, and they're beautiful. We love the bags, we love the work, and we will carry on upcycling this way.
Forgetting those who fought with you. When money no day, they still day with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Never forget, never.
Fashion Futures. Are you a designer? Do you love to create? Are you an entrepreneur? African Fashion Week London, in partnership with Henley Business School, Center for Entrepreneurship and Parsons School of Design and Technology program, bring you the Fashion Futures, a certificated online course tailored specifically for Africa-inspired designers. Begin your journey into Fashion Futures. Sign up now to get scholarship for this online course.
Hello, my name is Terrence Eben. I am co-founder of Never Fade Factory, futurism concept space here in Soho, London. We are located at 58 Old Compton Street in the historic Soho district or area of London, which has an enormous, let's say, heritage for creativity, for culture, for diversity and inclusion, stemming back over 100 years ago. And it is ideally why we chose Soho to launch our social impact platform, Never Fade Factory, which is a mixture of futurism concepts. And by futurism, I mean being able to experiment, play with, work around innovation on projects or concepts that are somewhere 2 years, 3 years even ahead of their time. Concepts such as VR clubbing or such as VR immersive arts, which will be part of our very near future, but at the moment are only offered in limited spaces. We are also a combination of showroom and retail, which is also a very modern idea behind enabling designers to both be in a space where there's creativity, there's press, and also there's a deeper interaction with consumers. And that consumer interaction enables for better feedback and for building products in a better way from the production or creative side. So in a nutshell, we're experimenting with a convergence of different areas, and when it comes to fashion, sustainable fashion is something we care deeply about. It's been, let's say, our biggest area of financial growth, especially as an establishment. We have traditionally always done upcycling, deconstruction, reusing of fabrics or vintage garments as a way to express our creativity, but always keeping in mind or having a consciousness that this direction in itself is a solution towards reducing the amount of waste that goes into the fashion industry, into clothing production. The other element around sustainability with our space is that it's allowed us to have, let's say, group projects or projects which enable groups to work together in a collaborative effort. So designers coming together with artists and coming together with photographers and other creatives in order to have one common goal to produce a product, some content, some kind of output, which ultimately also enables them in the participation process to improve their own personal skills, learn new skills, share skills between themselves, and have a deeper sense of community. So we are a social impact space. We do know that it is possible to have a retail space work in parallel with social impact ideas. We know that for sure our experience is that it actually even enhances creativity when creatives work together, and most importantly when creatives can have a bit more direct communication with consumers, as we do here in a concept space retail facility. And so we are proud to be participating in Sustainable Fashion Week US, because we know that we have been championing this cause for a long time, and we are currently also happy to be leaders of this sort of community here in London, a very fashion creative city, a fashion capital, so to speak. And by resonating with more and more creatives in London in particular, that believe in sustainable fashion, practice sustainable fashion, are willing to work on group projects together, we will have more impact locally and even globally as we align with organizations like Sustainable Fashion Week US to spread the production of sustainable fashion garments and allow consumers to see another way of consuming fashion other than has existed in the mainstream for the last several years. Look forward to presenting our team of designers that have come together to collaborate on our collection named
There's no plan B, this is all we know. Ha. Okay, let's do this. Let's get this right. Papa Claro. Senda la huncha tenda. Bora hunsa shenda. Ela hinda ina. Bora hindo shenda. Ya soni para hancha kencha. Para huncho soncho. Bora penka lege. Ela huncha shenda. Solo lo 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 lo. Kada huncha manda la 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 la. Kada huncha yende solo lo 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 lo. Kada huncha manda la 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 la. Kada hunna hunna. Kadinda huncha hunna sidembele bara hunna ina. Wasono mora huncha ina. Wana hunna ina. Umbayina hunna ina. Usaru bara hunna ina. Unjaru bara huncha ina.
Faut pas déconner, arrête tes panivers. Fatigue accumulée, je travaille comme un talibé. Faut pas déconner, arrête tes panivers. Épuisé, épuisé, affligé. Épuisé, épuisé, affligé. Mais qui va s'y colérer, un enfant sous-payé qui passe à panivers. L'État m'a oublié, je suis comme son bouclier. Je ne sais qu'à le protéger, esclavière moderne. Les mal étaient liés, c'est qui m'a fatigué. J'aimerais m'allonger, mais j'ai des dettes sous la tête. Mettre ma famille à l'aise, j'y ai toujours songé. Mais le temps d'y...
I'm Jane Shineman. I'm an image consultant, and I help ladies and gentlemen to feel good about the way that they look. Help them with their wardrobes, to organise them, to detox their wardrobes, clear them out, and I help them to find some items that make them feel good about themselves and work with their everyday life, personal and professional. What should I tell you? Recently, I think in recent years, sustainability has come into the way that I advise my clients. So, circular fashion, helping clients to understand that when they let things go from their wardrobe, they can have a life and they can give them to certain charities that are going to make the best use of them. And also, when they're buying, they can buy things that are already that are already out there, rather than always buying new from the shops. So I guess I'm sort of educating my clients, helping them to understand what's out there a little bit more. And I think I've been shopping and wearing like that for many years without really putting a name to it. I think that the environment, the change in the environment is hugely important and a hugely important factor. But I think now, very currently, our life within a pandemic has definitely changed attitudes. So in the last 6 months, I think the majority of the people that I'm talking to, their attitude has changed towards buying new, and they want to have, I think Greta and Caroline were talking about pieces that last, pieces that get passed on. So clothes are, I think classic clothes, or classic is not the right word, but pieces that are clever wardrobe staples that go on and on, things that are well made with beautiful materials and great cut. And I think that, yes, consumerism is changing. We're in a it's like a quicksand at the moment. Everything's changing, and I think together with the climate and with COVID times, there are new horizons. Everything's changing. Highly viable. I think that the more people that take it on, people are really in general. I think people are quite like sheep. So if people see it happening and see it working, it's the same as the rental market. I think that, a couple of years ago that was kind of like a really odd concept. People couldn't really even understand it, and now that is much more relevant and much more mainstream. It's the same with free love. Once people see how they can own a piece of, historical fashion, something that was made years ago, that's still a beautiful piece that was hardly worn at all. I think it's really viable. And I think it's a concept that people don't understand, and once they do, it'll fly 100%.
Super pleased to be presenting to you Reese, aka Snow Black, aka Black Angel, aka Individualist, presenting us with his expression for No One is Illegal collection, Sustainable Fashion Week. What are we making here?
Some oversized cargo pants, 70s silhouette.
Oversized cargo pants, 70s silhouette.
African inspired by Disney and Winnie the Pooh.
African inspired. Handmade textiles.
Red, yellow.
And some repurposed. What would you call this fabric here, if I didn't know?
Velvet.
What is it called?
It's like suede velvet. Feels like suede velvet.
I'm looking into the silhouettes of 70s fashion, so I'm gonna have a loose kind of fit, loose. It's gonna be loose and just wave like free, loose and free, baggy pants. But I'm gonna bring like a modern kind of touch to it, with like some asymmetrical kind of patterns. Elements of sustainability, like I'm going to use old clothes. I want to stick to like a black and white kind of color palette with hints of color. Kind of like, because when you look at sustainable fashion, you see like a lot of different like patchwork, where different clothes have been ripped apart. I want to see if I can achieve that from one color. And I want to add hints of, playfuls, like this sort of thing, but not like in the same kind of way, but play around with different techniques in regards to that. And it's not I'm not going to have too much neat finishes. Things are going to be left raw. Something, left raw.
Last question. What do you prefer, pattern making or sewing?
Sewing definitely.
Why sewing?
I do enjoy pattern making, but sometimes it gets a bit complicated when you want to step out of your kind of zone. When you're comfortable, like if I was to make these trousers, it would be kind of simple. Then to transform the shape of them and everything, that's extra. So sewing, it's a bit. I do like sewing. It's and sewing on the machine, industrial machines mainly. It's more enjoyable for me.
That's it. Borororido rose. Borororido rose. Borororido rose. Il faut consommer. Voilà musique qui consomme.
Papa Samuel a débat.
DJ Eric. Allez, mama to, digi digi to, tenga nanga to, tenga nanga to, tenga nanga to. Ete me tenga nanga to, mama de bise de tenga nanga to. Tenga nanga to, tenga nanga to, tenga nanga to, mama de bise tenga nanga to. Yete me tenga nanga to. Suba, body do rose. Tu fana rafate yoro. Voilà musique qui me bouge. Baby chocolat danser, saya, tegere, saya, gogo, saga. Pile chena dachine, borororido rose.
Lieutenant colonel Becho,
borororido rose. Borirororo, azé, borororido rose.
Quand le fer se transforme en acier, Emmanuel Adebayor.
Tous les mannequins qu'on va danser, à rafater les toubanes, toute l'Afrique va danser.
Gervinho
Manama Katala kabata mwe Makomana kosa brada Sidi manchi me pepele kunu monya mwela
Seni Dalveda Dabuti
Borororido rose
DJ Bombastic
Borororido rose Borirororo Azé Borororido rose
Dr Kodom DJ Ikul Toufane Foutoulou Yoruba Foutoulou Johnny Lagora Foutoulou Foutoulou C'est pas invité C'est une pape Je prends la zité Je lui fais la yeah. C'est pas un feat non 5, 12 On prend le beat vite On lui fait la On prend le beat On lui casse le bec Tu kiffes pas désolé Nous sommes partout Saya Waba Saya Baba Waba Saya Waba Saya Baba Waba Yaya Touré Samuel Eto'o Aubameyang La joie de l'Afrique.
Tous les mannequins va danser à rafater les toubanes. Toute l'Afrique va danser.
DJ Fly Youfane Yoruba. Ce n'était qu'un apéro, hein?
Watching some of our emerging creatives from Never Fade Factory expressing themselves in sustainable fashion.
So my name is Sarah Hollyborn. I'm an emerging fashion designer based on Kingley Street in Soho. My business raises awareness of social issues that are happening in the world today. And in my spare time I'm also a big mental health activist, so I do public speaking, and I volunteer for Times Change. On raises awareness of rape and sexual assault. So the red side on here was deconstructed from a dress. So there's a sustainable element in it as well. And it basically raises awareness of the scars that someone can get from going through these kind of incidents, and we're celebrating the emotional and physical scars.
Yeah.
What was the dress before? This was deconstructed from a dress.
Yeah, it was deconstructed from a dress. It was a gown.
Yeah.
Kind of vintage gown. I think it was by a designer that was made about 10 years ago originally.
Yeah, so this bit was underneath the dress, and then this was all. There was some ruffling in the dress, but yeah, I basically scrunched it all myself. It kind of looks like a little dress within the jacket, to be honest.
It does actually, yeah.
And then do you want to talk about the painting?
Yeah. And then
yes, Daniela, tell us about maybe you introduce yourself first.
Okay, so I'm Daniela. I'm an artist and a little bit of designer based in London. A lot of my work focuses around mental health. I started with addictions, eating disorders, and at the moment it's about rape and sexual abuse. So I explore these topics and I interview people who went through these experiences. And I try to open up a conversation about it in like a very honest, open-minded way so people can get educated as well. So this painting, well, on the fabric, it was based on one of the paintings I did last year, actually. I did an interview with someone who was a survivor of sexual abuse, and I made sketches of her whilst I was speaking to her, and that painting I used as a base and transferred it on fabric.
What is it like for you as a artist painting on canvas to paint on fabric? Is there a different consciousness you adopt in order to transfer your art onto fabric? Does it matter?
For us it didn't actually matter that much because I had fabric in one big piece, and then we cut the patterns into it. No, it didn't matter. I maybe simplified it in terms of colors a little bit.
Did you get like a different feeling painting onto fabric instead of the canvas?
It's a little bit different because I had to wet the fabric first completely. And you have to be a little bit more gentle, I feel like, with my painting. Sometimes I put like very thick layers, whereas with fabric it was the other way around. It's kind of like less is more, so.
That's quite interesting though, being gentle as well, like in terms of like the concept of rape and sexual assault, like when we're going through the recovery stage of being, a trauma survivor, you have to be gentle to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So also the jacket is reversible, so you can wear it from the inside out as well. And
Can you show us that maneuver? How you wiggle yourself from this side to the other side functionally? Let's have a look. Yeah, take us through the steps.
You reverse it.
Nice.
And then it's just plain black on the inside, and this represents that sometimes with these kind of incidents, or with anyone really, I guess, you never really know what's going on. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So then the idea is that you're like turning it inside out and you're looking inside of what's on the other side, basically.
Got it. Understood.
And we have a little bit of
some self-reflection.
Yeah, self-reflection, and like some days we want to share more about what's been going on for us, some days less.
Exactly. Yeah.
We always kind of carry our stories within us, but at the end of the day, we live in like now.
So how did you feel about the collaborative project overall? Sorry. What was it like to work with someone you didn't know before, and then?
I mean, I guess I wasn't really sure like how it was gonna go, because we didn't know each other at all. But I thought like we definitely connected on a common ground of terms of like social issues and mental health, and connecting on that level then kind of like fed in through our collaboration as well. I thought it was amazing to collaborate with an artist, because there are some things that you brought up with the design that I wouldn't have thought about, and then it's got me even more inspired and thinking about future stuff now. So yeah, I think like combining it all together, like both of our artistic experiences, it's just like created this piece that I don't think either of us would have been able to make singly. So it's amazing, yeah.
I agree, and like when we met with Sarah, she does the same what I do with art, like interview people about their experiences and translate it into paintings. She does the same with fashion.
And then Kai is always in the background.
Kai is always in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do a similar process in like the research stage.
Exactly.
We both interview people who have gone through these experiences, and we get a deeper understanding, because it is all about experiences at the end of the day, and experiences can help facts. So yeah, it's so important to do that kind of research because it's such a sensitive topic. Like, you can't hide the fact that it is extremely sensitive. and raw. So to do interviews and stuff is so important.
Well, it's a treasure that you put that sentiment into your garment. And for what it's worth, I think at the moment, sustainable fashion, one of the aspects rarely spoken about, but which I think will come forward more, is about sentimental value in clothes, right? Like, the more the clothes has some sentiment. Never Fade Factory, I do have track record of being in sustainable fashion. Since 2017, I would say easily 30% or more of sales happen by buying vintage pieces and upcycling them, deconstructing them, and painting on them to make them current or to repurpose them. Of always trying to keep the value of clothes or of used clothes so that the customer or the consumer continuously gets educated on the fact that there is a whole other marketplace available and there's another way to be fashionable. Because what has clearly happened over the last few years also is that there's been an exchange, I would say, between consumers and the creators. Because at the end of the day, to be a commercial designer or brand, you always have to think towards the consumers. 2 years ago, it was frowned upon, I would say, by most of the more fashionable commercial buyers to wear used clothes, because all of a sudden, 2020, and it becomes more relevant where you have, you know, wardrobe rental companies popping up, vintage, cooler vintage shops popping up, and even companies like Selfridges getting into the game and trying to, so it's our responsibility, if we have been doing sustainable fashion before this fad or trend has surfaced, that we make a noise about it. And for me, this is the third instance. And so I think with this project, there's an opportunity using strategy, and in this case, the strategy is being under, let's just say, one power, one circular, single direction, but still being able to allow creativity, which is very independent, very three-dimensional. You know, if it's then captured the right way, through the help of Gabby over here and myself and our rudimentary cell phones, edited and delivered as it should through several platforms that care about sustainability. And it could be a little splash, but a very significant splash in terms of what we're all trying to accomplish.
There's no plan B, this is all we know. Ha. Okay, let's do this. Let's get this right. Papa Claro. Senda la huncha tenda. Bora hunsa shenda. Ela hinda ina. Bora hindo shenda. Ya soni bada hancha kencha. Bada huncho soncho. Bora penka lege. Ela huncha shenda. Solo lo 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 lo. Cause I hincha man, la 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 la. But I hincha man, solo lo 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 lo. But I hincha man, la 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 la. But I wanna, the dinga hincha wanna sit down, but I wanna, but so no more hincha, when I wanna, Mumbai.